Hello and welcome to Module 3. So when teaching this course in previous semesters, I always have multiple students who ask questions like, why do we keep doing this? Or why do we hurt the environment if we know it's bad? Or questions of that nature I get a lot. And at the risk of using a cliche, I tell them, follow the money. And although it seems like when we know that something is bad for the environment, it should just be simple to make the decision to fix it, the situation never is that simple. So our economy is based on natural resources, and there is money to be made by extracting and using those resources. But we tend to ignore or discount the long-term consequences of environmental degradation because it is more profitable to keep doing business as usual. However, it is possible to have economic gain and at the same time protect the environment, but we need to think more carefully about the long-term consequences of business as usual and make better choices that support both a healthy economy and fully functioning ecosystems at the same time. Chapter 5 is a great introduction to how economics relates to environmental science and how various policy approaches can help us reach our goal of long-term sustainability. Module 3 also covers agriculture, and I'll openly admit that this is one of my favorite topics to teach in this course. I grew up in an agricultural area, as maybe many of you did, and received additional sustainable agriculture training as a college student, so it's one of my favorite topics in general. Agriculture has severe environmental impacts, and yet we all have to eat. But just like with economics, we can all eat and support healthy ecosystems at the same time. But again, not by continuing on with business as usual. This chapter describes how agriculture has changed throughout the course of history, some of the negative environmental impacts of agriculture, the basics of soil as a foundation for a sustainable agricultural system, the use of pesticides, herbicides, and fertilizers, issues related to how we raise animals for food, genetically modified foods, and the growth of sustainable agriculture. The discussion questions for Module 3 cover topics from both Chapter 5 and Chapter 7, as well as some questions that bring economics and agriculture together in discussing the article, "It's Time to Rethink America's Corn System" by Jonathan Foley, who is the director for the Institute on the Environment at the University of Minnesota. This module also introduces you to several interesting characters in the sustainable agriculture community that can show us what the future of sustainable agriculture might look like. Michael Pollan is a well-known author of many books on food and agriculture, including The Omnivore's Dilemma, an excellent book that I recommend for anybody interested in food and agriculture, or just if you like to eat, which I definitely do. I love food. And in a video clip you're going to watch, he discusses a farmer, who you will also watch in his own video clip, called Joel Salatin, and his farm called Polyface Farm. And in this video clip, Michael Pollan emphasizes the importance of models for giving us hope for the future and a vision for what agriculture can look like. Next is Joel Salatin of Polyface Farm, mentioned above, and he is a self-described Christian, libertarian, environmentalist, capitalist, lunatic farmer, and that's a pretty apt description, I think. And he believes that we can have healthy ecosystems and a healthy economy at the same time through agriculture, and he's really not shy about expressing his opinions. He's also written many books, one of which is You Can Farm. He's all about trying to get people to grow their own food. And he's usually a class favorite when I've shown his videos before. And finally, Will Allen. He is a former basketball player turned urban farming guru who has won numerous awards for his work in promoting sustainable urban agriculture. And we tend to think of agriculture as being more of a rural activity, but his nonprofit Growing Power is a great example of how we have the capability to grow food in urban settings and help increase food security for inner city families that may not have access to high quality food on a regular basis. So I hope you enjoy this module as much as I do, and I look forward to reading your discussion threads in 2 weeks.